100 years ago, their nations were still at war. Today, under a damp grey sky, President Macron of France and Chancellor Merkel of Germany came to a forest clearing north of Paris, where the Great War finally came to an end. It was here, in a secluded train carriage, that the armistice was agreed, ending hostilities across Europe. In a replica of that carriage, the two leaders sat where the Allied and German delegations had negotiated the agreement, committing their nations once again to peace. These images are all the more poignant because the last German Chancellor to walk these paths was Adolf Hitler, who came here to accept the surrender of France in World War II, hoping to avenge the deal agreed here 2 decades before. After the armistice was signed, the Allied delegation came back here to the Élysée Palace, and according to one account, they joined hands and danced Ring of Roses with the French Prime Minister. It was not quite so cheerful there today. President Trump arrived in Paris saying it had been insulting of Mr. Macron to say Europe needed protecting from the United States. But today they put on smiles for the cameras and agreed Europe should do more to share the burden of its defence.
It's unfair to have the European security today being assured just by the United States, and we need a much better burden sharing.
I appreciate what you're saying about burden sharing. You know what my attitude's been, and we want a strong Europe. It's very important to us to have a strong Europe.
After leaving the Élysée, Mr. Trump pulled out of a visit to a cemetery for American servicemen and faced criticism when his officials blamed the rain. Tonight, world leaders attended a dinner in Paris ahead of tomorrow's armistice centenary. President Macron wants to use the ceremony not just to remember the dead, but also to shine a light on the dangers that he believes nationalism can pose today. James Landell, BBC News, Paris.